so self-conscious about the wind for this episode. Bear with me. I really need one of those like wind stoppers. I'm gonna have to just film the whole episode like this. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see what I'm doing. I'm trying to block the wind from the microphone so that it's not all fluffy for you guys. I can't do the whole episode like this. I can't. Welcome to another episode of the podcast, you guys. If you're currently watching on YouTube, you will be able to see the setup that I've got going on. If you're not, I highly recommend going and checking out the YouTube version of this so that you can see my situation right now. It took me quite a while to be able to find this spot, and I'm low-key terrified of hearing something in these headphones. I'm currently at my mum's house. As you all know, if you watch her YouTube videos, she lives on a farm, and this microphone picks up everything, even the scariest of little noises. So I'm just like sitting here hoping and praying that like some random wind noises aren't gonna pop on up in the headphones. So yeah, I'm currently at my mum's house for the next 2 nights. I decided to take a little break and come visit her for a few days. This is something that I have really been trying my best to do at least once a month, maybe once every 2 months, especially now that I have so much flexibility and freedom in my schedule to be able to do this. I don't know, I just really want to try and take advantage of it as much as I can. I absolutely love being here. To my right, there is a paddock full of cows, and to my left, there is a shed full of shit. But it looks beautiful. Like beautiful shit, you know? It's currently 3:31, you guys. I have been waiting all day to film this episode because it has been so windy here, and I knew I had to film this episode outside. If you watch YouTube videos, you know I get so awkward with like filming stuff, so I just need to be in my own little space away. But also I wanted like a cute background. And I don't know if this is cute, but this is the only spot that I could get where the wind is like not too bad. How's everyone's week been? What have you been up to? If you're watching on YouTube, please let me know in a comment down below. This week for me, I mean, today's only Wednesday as I'm recording this, but this week for me, I feel like I've finally been able to get back into my proper routine. And that's in terms of everything, not just work. I feel like just me and my personal life as well, like going to the gym, eating healthy, feeling back to my normal self after the show. I honestly can't believe how much that whole experience took out of me and how difficult the adjustment was when I got home. I think I definitely underestimated it, and I think because I've never actually traveled or been anywhere for that amount of time before, I really just underestimated how long it would take me to find my natural routine again once I was home. And after the past month of my life, I truly have realized and learned how much I appreciate my very boring but well-loved routine. I am so obsessed with going to bed at 9 p.m. with my chill, comfy couch time at 5-6 p.m. and I love waking up early and working from home. A bird has just landed across from me. He's like, what the fuck? What are you and what are you doing? But yeah, I think that's really my main updates for this week. I haven't really done anything to it. Oh my god, it was my birthday yesterday. Oh god, that's how much I cared about it. If I'm gonna be honest, I completely forgot. Yesterday was the 2nd of May as I'm recording this. It was Tuesday this week and it was my birthday, which if you missed it, we actually had a sale on the store. So I did 26% off for my 26th birthday. It's fucking crazy. Like, how am I 26? That has to be some sort of sick joke. Do you know what I'm saying? But also at the same time, I feel like I've been 26 for so I feel older than 26, if I'm going to be honest with you. You could tell me that I'm like 28, 29, and I'd be like, okay, fair. I feel that. I get that. I did want to quickly say thank you so much to every single one of you that sent me a DM or ordered on the store yesterday. I got a couple orders that I packaged up and shipped this morning, and I am just so grateful for every single one of you. And even if you didn't order and you just sent me a DM on Instagram, like, I appreciate that so freaking much. All of your sweet messages honestly made my whole entire day. I think more of you guys message me happy birthday than people that I know in my real life. That might be a sign that I need to make more friends or new friends. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just so incredibly grateful for you all, and I don't know, I just appreciate it. I appreciate the love so much. I went to the shops. I got a couple of t-shirts. One's like a cute white crop top that I'll just wear with literally anything. And another one is like a cropped green one, which I think I'll probably wear to the gym. I went to Boost Juice to get my free birthday Boost Juice. If you didn't know, Boost Juice gives you a free Boost Juice. on your birthday, which I go every single year on my own. And I get a large lychee crush. It's my go-to drink. It's the best, and you got to take advantage of the free drink. So you got to get the biggest cup size that they have. So then I came home, I did a bit of work. I finally started on the brand new coloring book that's coming out in June. I got like 3-4 pages done, which made me feel really productive. Normally for my birthday or Christmases or any type of holiday or anything like that, I try not to put the pressure on myself to get work done or do any work. Like if I feel like doing work, I will, but if I don't feel like doing work, I'm not going to put the pressure on myself to do that. So I don't know, I was in a worky type of mood yesterday. I feel like I haven't sat down and done a design in ages. So I sat down and smashed out like 3 or 4. So the rest of my week this week is not going to be too hectic, which I'm very, very happy about. I feel like I can actually be here right now. Oh, there's a cow taking a piss to my right. It's giving me eye contact. It's looking me directly in the eye. I don't know how I feel about that. That's a bit much for my Wednesday. Anyway, what was I saying? It makes me feel like I don't have a lot of work on this week, which is good. I can come here and I can relax. It's still looking at me in the eyes. The only things that I really have to worry about this week is getting organized for my market on the weekend and also getting the podcast up and ready for you guys. So that's good. That feels amazing. I probably will do a few more designs as well once I get home on Friday, but other than that, it's chill. And I am very, very happy about it. I got a beautiful bunch of flowers from my beautiful girlfriend. They're so freaking cute and I am obsessed with them. She also got a cake delivered to my house, which I am yet to eat, but you bet it's the only thing that's on my mind while I'm here until I get home. That has been my week so far this week. Not much else to report or update you guys on. I hope you all have had the best week ever this week, and I hope that you have done something for yourself. And if you haven't, schedule in one thing this weekend. Do one thing that is just for you, whether that's going out on a walk, whether that's going and getting your nails done if you're a nail girly, whether that's going to the dog park and seeing some cute puppies. Oh, that used to be one of my favorite things to do. I don't know why I don't do that anymore. Like I really should. I did ask you guys on Instagram what you would like to hear me talk about in today's episode of the podcast, and we did get 2 requests, so I'm just gonna quickly pull them up now. I honestly didn't even look at them before sitting down and hitting record. I probably should have done that. So we're literally just going to sit here and wing this to the best of my ability. So the general topics that we're going to talk about in today's episode is overcoming anxiety, depression, and my journey on being comfortable in my own skin, which I feel like all perfectly ties together, and talking about each one of those topics kind of leads into another one of them. So the first one says how you overcame anxiety in different situations and depression when you were in it. And this is a whole topic. Strap yourselves in, girlies. I hope you've got a coffee or a snack of some sort, because I can talk on this topic. I feel like my own personal struggles with depression just come from allowing myself to be in shitty situations for longer than what I need to be. So for me, personally, I don't struggle with severe depression. I definitely have had some extreme depressive times in my life, but I'm not someone who struggles with it daily or as a reoccurring thing in my life. And especially as I've gotten older and I've realized what triggers those depressive episodes for me, I kind of have learned how to move through my life in a way that lets me not get too bogged down and stuck in those depressive episodes or let them get as crazy as they used to be. Because I struggled. I really went through it when I was in my early 20s. I think between the ages of 21 and 23, I would say. Yeah, honestly, the whole time that I was working in hospitality. So for me, personally, my depression was very situational. My depression stemmed from just growing up, if I'm going to be 110% honest. I think when you're in your early 20s, I mean, even all the way up until your 30s, it's a very transitional time of your life. You are constantly learning and growing and going through shit all the time. And you're just learning so much about yourself myself as well. I honestly think the lowest part of my life was during my transition period of figuring out who I am and my sexuality, because I didn't have a great home life, and the situationship that I was in where I was coming to terms with that side of me also wasn't a super healthy situationship. Hence the word situationship. No situationship is healthy. Boys and girls, get out of them. And I don't know if I have that much advice to give. I think if I was to go back myself and talk to younger Lacey and give advice knowing what I know now, I really would just say hang in there, and you just have to go on the ride to be able to learn. This is such a difficult thing for me to talk on because everyone struggles with depression differently and everyone's levels of depression are different. For me, I dealt with my depression in the worst ways possible. I would surround myself with negative people. I would go out and drink. Now, I think that if I was to go through similar depressive episodes, I would handle them in a completely different way because I have learnt so much from then to now. I think just surrounding yourself with positive people, that is one of the biggest things that I have learnt over the past couple years, is that the people that you surround yourself with are so incredibly important. And I truly didn't realize how much that mattered until I started surrounding myself with the right people who enjoy doing the same things that you do, people that enjoy being outside and doing positive things like going on walks or doing yoga, whatever it is that you are interested in, whatever healthy hobby that you have, surround yourself with like-minded people who get you to go outside, who fill your cup up. I just realized there's a dead spider next to me. It's making me very uncomfortable. Anyway, it's so hard, and I think when you are going through those tough times, it's hard to find the motivation to want to see people, to want to get out, to want to go to the gym, to want to eat healthy. Trust me, I know it. I've been there. I've done that. It's really, really freaking hard. But at the end of the day, the only person that can make a change and the only person who can do something to help you is you. And I think that's something that you have to realize as well. You might be feeling the worst you have ever felt in your entire life. And I think it just takes the choice in your mind to either continue to feel sorry for yourself, and you definitely can choose that. If you want, go ahead. Choose to do that, but nothing is going to change. The only time that something is going to change is when you make the decision in your head that you deserve better. You deserve better than the way that you're feeling. You deserve better than the situation that you're in. And you deserve better than the people or the circumstances or the situations that are causing you to feel depressed or like shit. And again, I think that just comes from practicing self-love, doing the things that you enjoy doing, journaling, writing your feelings down, trying to practice daily gratitude. Something that I really, really enjoyed doing when I was on my transition period out of my last depressive state, which I'm so incredibly happy to say was probably like over a year ago now. One of my favorite things to do was to write out goals for myself each week and each month, and to write out daily gratitude. It might sound silly at first, sitting down and writing gratitude, but physically getting out a pen and paper and writing down the things that you are grateful for every single morning and every single night is going to allow you to physically see all of the good things in your life and all of the things that you have to be positive and happy about. For me, at least, being able to see those things written down helps flick that switch in my brain that is constantly telling me that I have a shit life, that my situation's shit, that nothing's gonna get better. Seeing that list of gratitude allows you to be like, well, you know what? My life isn't totally shit. These 3 to 6 things are 3 to 6 things that allow me to wake up every single morning. These 3 to 6 things are things that motivate me. I don't know, gratitude is so incredibly important, and to be honest, I've been super slack with it lately. I really need to get back into doing it myself, especially from being back from the show. I think that's something that's been missing in my routine. I need to get back into that. I need to take my own advice and get back into it. I hope any of those little things helped in any way. I know that they're very obvious things, but it's normally the obvious things that help, and they're normally the things that we avoid doing. Something that I personally love to do, and something that I'm very grateful that I have the opportunity to do, is that when I am feeling super down, I love to come here and visit my mum, not only just to see my mum, but because I am outside when I'm here. I'm surrounded by grass and greenery and animals, and all of those things help your mental so much. Even just a walk outside can completely change your attitude for the whole entire day. As long as you're getting outside of your four walls, which are really the four walls of your brain. I think that's another really big one too, that helps a lot. So the next part of all of that was, how did you overcome anxiety in different situations? So if any of you are new, crippling anxiety is something that I've had to deal with my entire life. I think out of all of the mental health struggles that I struggle with up here, anxiety, she is a real bitch. And she has stopped me from being my authentic, true self for 90% of my life, I would say. As soon as I started to understand my anxiety, and as soon as I truly started to work on myself for myself, anxiety started to trickle away to the background, and I have never been more proud of myself, and I've never been more happy in my whole entire life. And I'm finally at a stage in my life where anxiety doesn't control me and my life, because it did. Honestly, all the way up until I was 24. So again, I think that this is going to be different for everyone. The moment that my anxiety started to fizzle away to the background was as soon as I left toxic workplaces and people, and as soon as I started the journey of healing and working on me. I think a lot of my anxiety, especially towards the last couple years that I was struggling with it really bad, had to do with toxic situations and relationships that I had in my life. I was at a point where I was overthinking everything that I was saying to anyone and everyone. I never left my house, and the tiniest of little things would give me a panic attack. And I think it just got so bad, and to the point where I was like, you know what? I don't deserve this. I don't deserve to wake up every single day and be in constant fear from nothing really, but from my mind in a way. And again, it's going to be the most unhelpful advice ever, but it's as soon as you make the switch in your mind to be like, no, I deserve better, and I am going to work on me for me. And as soon as you make that switch, and as soon as you start implementing positive strategies and tools into your life that aid in dealing with anxiety, like for me, I picked up yoga. Yoga has been a massive thing that helped my anxiety, especially in the beginning. And again, writing down gratitude and the things that I was grateful for. But again, another thing that's only going to be situational to me was the fact that I was able to cut out all of the things that gave me that anxiety, and that through therapy I realized was giving me that anxiety. So like I said, I cut out a lot of relationships that gave me anxiety, and I also quit my job. That was a massive factor in my anxiety. And I think for me now, the reason why my anxiety is so under control is because I feel in control of my life. As you all know, I work for myself, which gives me a lot of control over my life. And I think that was such a big thing and such a big reason as to why I did have so much anxiety, because I genuinely felt like I wasn't aligned and living the life that I was supposed to be living. And I know that sounds weird and crazy, and if you're not a spiritual person, you may not be able to understand, but genuinely I just always felt this unsettling anxiety because I just knew my life wasn't aligned and I wasn't on the path that I was supposed to be on. And as soon as I started working for myself, as soon as I felt like I had a little bit more freedom and I wasn't being controlled by a job or another human being, my anxiety completely left. And I think that's situational to me and maybe my childhood trauma and how I was brought up. I hate being in controlling situations. I want to be in control of my own life and what I'm doing and what I'm waking up to each and every day. And with working for someone else and being in toxic relationships, I wasn't in control of anything. And for me, that's just what my anxiety stemmed from. Everyone's anxiety is situational and specific to you. I think my number one tip when it comes to anxiety would be figuring out the core root as to why you get anxiety or what triggers you, and then go from there. If it's a specific person, if it's a specific situation or job or time of the week or something that you have in your schedule, I think really taking a look at it and deciding, is this necessary? Do I need to be doing this? And is this worth it? Is this thing that's giving me this much anxiety truly worth the anxiety that I'm going through? And it's so funny because when it does come to mental health struggles like anxiety and depression, realizing your value and your worth and putting those boundaries in to protect yourself and your well-being truly is one of the best things that you can do for yourself. I know for me personally, I was constantly always worrying about how my actions would affect other people. And again, just from growing up, experiencing life, my frontal lobe fully developing, I have realized that the only person in this entire world that I truly have to make sure is happy is me. You could say to yourself that person A, person B, person C are going to be in your life forever, and they could be. But at the end of the day, the only thing that is certain is that you are going to have a relationship with yourself for the entirety that you are on this earth. And I think it's so important to be able to nourish and care for your relationship for yourself just as much as you would for someone else. So I know for me, I would constantly put my feelings and my thoughts and my opinions and the things that I wanted to say to the side to protect other people or my job or the people that I worked for, because I was so afraid of upsetting other people, even if it meant that I was getting upset in the process, or even if it meant that I was having severe panic attacks in the process. If people don't value your time and energy, you need to not put those people before your own feelings and your anxiety and your stress. And this is something that I'm still working through this in a certain part of my life. I would love to be able to sit here and tell you guys that I fully put myself first all the time, 24/7. And obviously there's exceptions to this rule. But yeah, it's something that I am still working on, but it's something that I have worked on so freaking much to the point now where I have my anxiety pretty much under control. And it also helped me label and figure out what the things are that gave me anxiety. Like I said earlier, being controlled gives me anxiety. So being in a situation where I feel like I have zero control in, that gives me anxiety, and I know that now. Anxiety is such a journey, and it's a journey that's individual to you, and it's a journey that as long as you continue to put yourself forward and care for yourself and give yourself the love that you deserve, you will always get there in the end. Like I said, it's a process, and I think going through the process allows you to learn so much about yourself. And in a way, I'm extremely grateful that I had anxiety and I went through all of the things that I've gone through, because it's led me to be where I am now with the knowledge of myself that I have now. And I feel like I'm pretty in tune with myself now, you know, which I really am proud of. And it allows me to be able to sit here and chat openly and honestly about these things with you guys. Trust the process, you know, care for yourself. Anxiety is such a hard thing, and so is depression. They're both really freaking hard. And I think unless you want to sit down and do the work on yourself, it's never gonna get better. And that might be harsh, but it's the harsh truth, unfortunately. If you do not want to make a change, if you do not want to put the effort into yourself, then nothing is going to change, and it's not going to be easy. I think a lot of the time people get discouraged or get a little bit of the way and then go backward, or go 3 steps forward, 4 steps back, because it is fucking hard to know that you struggle and to know that you have to put the work in to yourself to be able to feel better. It's such a struggle, but I promise you that the struggle is so worth it. Hopefully this was helpful advice on those 2 topics. It's so hard when I don't know the exact situation to give advice on. Those are just my experiences. Hopefully that little word vomit was helpful. I think at the end of the day, it's just knowing you deserve more and giving yourself the love that you deserve. So the next thing that I'm going to quickly touch on is my journey on being comfortable in my own skin. This person says, "You're amazing, love your content." Well, thank you so much. You're amazing, and thank you so much for being here. My journey on being comfortable in my own skin. I feel like this is the perfect little thing to wrap up what we've just been talking about. My journey on being comfortable in my own skin has been a tough one, a really tough one. And I think my own personal journey with being comfortable with who I am has been more so to do with learning to love who I am on the inside. Obviously, we all have our own insecurities on the outside, but for me, my insecurities and struggles growing up were all about who I was as a person, my hobbies, my interests, the people who I was attracted to. And like you said, it's a journey. So the journey on being comfortable in your own skin. My journey was was an internal journey, and one that I feel like it's always going to be a journey. I'm never going to stop learning things about myself. I'm always going to have little things that make me self-conscious or nervous or embarrassed about, because I am only human, and so is everyone. Everyone is always going to have a little bit of something. I think that's just normal for being human. For me, being comfortable in my own skin truly did come down to therapy for me. I think that if I hadn't actively been going through therapy for the past year and a bit, I wouldn't have learnt a lot of things about myself, and I would still be questioning a lot of things about who I am. Like, why do I do this? Why do I react like this? I think taking the time to understand who I am and why I do the things that I do allowed me to get comfortable with even the weirdest, most quirkiest things. I truly do not give a flying fuck about what anyone else thinks of me. So the only person that I have to impress is me. And as long as I love who I am as a person, that's the only thing that truly matters to me. And tying it back in to, the anxiety, the depression, going to therapy, all of that stuff, through learning about who I am, through working on myself and learning to love the version of me that I am, is the number one thing that allows me to be comfortable in my own skin. And it is hard when you do have opinions of others flying at you from each and every way, because that's just life. Now I can hear a tractor. This episode is going to be chaotic. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, I feel like the lighting is just now being good. Oh God. This is what I get for wanting to record in nature, outside, in the beautiful world. I don't even know where I was up to. I think the process of getting comfortable in your own skin is a time thing, like anything. And I know that when you are younger, you don't want to hear that. Like, if I was listening to this podcast when I was 21, 22, I would be sitting here being like, no, bitch, that's not the advice that I need. I don't want to be going through these shit things to learn things. And I want advice that can actually change my situation. But honestly, as you grow up and you get older, the number one thing that you will learn is that everything happens in its own time. Trying to rush things won't get you anywhere. So I don't know, enjoy the journey, enjoy the ride, be in tune with what's going on around you. Another thing, the very last thing that I'm going to talk on this topic, I also think surrounding yourself with like-minded people and people who have the same values and beliefs as you. I think that has been a massive thing to help on my journey of being more comfortable in my own skin. I think that you genuinely start to feel more comfortable in your own skin when you're surrounded by people who are loving and accepting of exactly who you are. If you're constantly surrounding yourself by people who tear you down, who pick you apart, and who point out the flaws in who you are as a human being, that is going to lead to nothing but you feeling more uncomfortable in your own skin, because you're going to be constantly thinking and picking out those things yourself. Surrounding yourself with like-minded, positive people, number one main tip for that, I think. So I think that's going to be it for today's episode, you guys. I feel like the external noises are now starting to distract me and my undiagnosed ADHD. These headphones are picking up every single individual sound. That tractor was a lot for a bit. I'm really sorry. I'm literally just working with what I've got here, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of the podcast. I hope that you enjoyed it being somewhere a little bit different. The sound of nature surely is calming in some way. That's what I'm going to try and tell myself to get myself in a positive headspace about posting this. As always, if you guys would like to write into the podcast, or if you have any questions, we do have an email. I check it every single day, and I would love to hear from you guys through that email. So if you'd like to write into To Nurture Your Soul, the podcast, all you have to do is email To Nurture Your Soul podcast at gmail.com, and I'm on that email every single day, checking it, planning out future episodes. So if you want to be featured in the next episode, or if there's a specific topic that you would like me to touch on or talk about in future episodes, then please make sure to email me at tonurtureyoursoulpodcast at gmail.com. It helps them run a little bit more smoothly too. Otherwise, I'm just here chatting shit, and you guys don't need that. We need topics. We need substance. So if you guys are watching on YouTube, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel right down below if you haven't already. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, thank you so much for being here. That's so exciting to me. And please make sure to leave us a 5-star review down below. It really, really helps me out on the streaming platforms. I'm still trying to figure out the streaming platforms, you guys. I need to take a day to sit down and figure out like how to grow on them and how to post most successfully. At the moment, I'm just kind of chucking the podcast up and hoping for the best, hoping that you guys find it one way or another. It's almost 5 o'clock, so I'm going to go inside. I'm going to enjoy spending the night with my mum. I'm going to take some photos of these beautiful cows. I think that's going to be it. I hope you guys have the best weekend ever. Again, don't forget to do something for you this weekend if you haven't already. You deserve it, like we spoke about in today's episode. Do something for you because you deserve it. I love you guys very much. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I will talk to you all in the next one.